Did Samsung purposely sabotage the Note 20 Ultra? Now, before you get all into your feelings and get all upset, because I know a lot of you out there have the Note 20 Ultra and you love it, and I do too. It's a great device. But just thinking about this over the last few years I've had this device, I feel like Samsung literally sabotaged this device. But I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. First thing, the color. Okay, I got the bronze one. Why is it that the bronze color is the only color that came with a frosted back? Why? Makes no sense. They should have been offered on the other colors that they offered too, which was unfortunately only black and white, which made no sense either. 3 colors. But why was the bronze the only one with the frosted back? Number 2, why was only 3 colors offered? Bronze, white, and black? What happened to gold? What happened to blue? Like, what happened to red? Like, 3 colors? I don't understand that. Number 3, why was the starting storage, internal storage, 128 gigs? Keep in mind the Note 10 Plus, which was the previous device to this one, came standard with 256 gigs of internal storage. Why did they reduce it down to 128 gigs? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. And keep in mind, this device was $200 more than the previous Note 10. I mean, the previous Note device. The Note 10 Plus was $1,100. This device was $1,300. And they gave you less storage, less color options, only one color had a frosted back. Number 4, why was this phone given 120 hertz refresh rate but not allowed to use Quad HD resolution at the same time? Why? This was supposed to be an ultra device. Why would you cap off 120 hertz at 1080p? I mean, y'all think about that. $1,300 device. 120 hertz with only 1080p? I don't get that. That makes no sense. And that's something that could have been tweaked through software. That could have been changed. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Now, I've gotten used to using 120 hertz at 1080p, because the screen is still beautiful. But to have a device cost this much and to call itself an ultra, and you're not even allowed to use it at its highest resolution, it's unfortunate. Number 5, 25 watt fast charging, when the previous model Note 10 Plus came with 45 watt charging capability. Samsung, why did you take away 45 watt super fast charging? Why? And dropped it down to 25 watts and charged $200 more for this device. I don't understand that either. Somebody needs to come and try to help me understand what Samsung is doing. I don't get that. Number 6, why did this device only come with 50 times hybrid zoom when the S20 Ultra came with 100 times hybrid zoom? Why? I don't get that. This is supposed to be an ultra phone. And S20 and the S20 and the Note 20, have been very similar to this point. Why would you not give the same zoom to this device? And this is a Note. And you already knew this was gonna be the last Note. So why not go all out and fully load and pack this thing with everything there is? I don't understand that one either. Number 7, why only give this device a 4,500 milliamp hour battery when you gave the S20 Ultra a 5,000 milliamp hour battery? Why? And for me, the battery life in this phone is just okay. It's not great. It's not good. It's just okay. It drains really, really fast. This battery is just too small for this device. A 6.9-inch Quad HD display is too small. With 120 hertz, it's too small. The battery drains crazy. Now, I use my phone different than you all out there use your phone, because battery life is always going to be subjective. It's going to vary depending on how you use your phone. Now, people always asking me, how's the battery life? How's the battery life? Listen, the battery life for me on this phone is just okay. It'll get me through a full day. But if I go hard on this phone, I'm not going to get through a full day. And a full day for me is anywhere between 14 to 16 hours. That's a full day for me. I'm not talking about 8 hours, 9 hours. No, a full work day for me is between 14 to 16 hours. If I just use the phone moderately, I can get through a full day. But if I use it moderate to heavy, I'm not going to make it. And that's just me. That's me using always on display, 100% brightness. I'm using 120 hertz 1080p. I'm using the display at 100% brightness. I'm pretty much using most of the features that's on this phone. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm surfing the net. I'm on, Facebook. I'm on my Bible app. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Amazon. I'm on eBay. I'm on this phone a lot. And of course, telephone calls, text messages, things like that. Now, I don't use the camera hardly at all. I only use it on special occasions, like when I'm going out, with the wife, or going out with the family, or some kind of special occasion. Then I'll use the camera. So I don't use the cameras that much. I rarely use the GPS. I don't game. This is just really regular usage. And the battery, drains pretty fast. So I'm not understanding why they didn't put a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in here. Keep in mind, the S20 Ultra has a 6.9 inch display. This has a 6.9 inch display. So if that got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, this one should have got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Next, number 8. Why only 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging? The Note 10 Plus, which was the previous model to this, 9 watts reverse wireless charging. Samsung, why did you reduce it from 9 watts down to 4.5? I don't understand that. Remember, this was called an Ultra device. Now, this was not called the Note 20 Plus. This was the Note 20 Ultra. So everything should be Ultra, not just the cameras, not just the size of the display, but the whole phone should have Ultra features attached to them. Like 100 times zoom on the camera, like 120 hertz at Quad HD resolution, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 45 watt super fast charging. Okay, those are all the things that should be accompanied with a phone that's calling itself Ultra. I'm not understanding. Number 9, no 10 times optical zoom. Now you get 5 times, but you don't get 10 times. Why? This thing has great cameras. Why not 10 times optical zoom? Number 10, why no headphone jack? I still to this day don't understand why they removed that. Now, I know some people out there don't care. I actually do, because you still get better overall sound with a wired connection. There was absolutely no reason to remove the headphone jack. None whatsoever. And that's something they need to bring back. I don't like that. And of course, there's also some other things that they removed from the previous model and didn't put back on this model either, which I don't like as well. No iris sensor, something I like. Now, some people are going to say, well, they couldn't, give you a bezel display. I don't care about having a bezel display. I would take a little bit of bezel at the top, a thin bezel, and you could still put that iris sensor on there. I think that would have been cool, to be able to have another biometric way to open your phone besides just a fingerprint sensor or your face. Because that iris sensor was very, very secure. I was able to use my banking app with that. And of course, open up secure folder with that. I love the iris sensor. I really miss that. So that's something they could have put on this device. But no iris sensor, no IR blaster. Now, some people say you got smart things. Listen, everybody don't have a Samsung TV, and smart things is only going to work with a Samsung TV. So I don't like the fact that there's no IR blaster. That's something they had on the Note 4. And it was a great thing to have, and that's something they need to put back on this device as well. No heart rate monitor. Now, for most people, they don't care about that. They have a smartwatch. They can monitor their heartbeat. Some people may think it's gimmicky. I liked it because it measured my stress level as well. And I use, Samsung Health app all the time. So that's something they could have easily placed inside this camera module like they had on the previous devices. Now, not the Note 10, not the Note 10 Plus, but the Note 9. They had it right inside the camera module. So you could just easily just press your finger in there and get your heart rate. So I don't like that either. No LED notification sensor. Why remove that? That was very helpful, especially if you, was across the room and you wanted to see if you missed an important telephone call or you missed an important text message. The LED notification sensor is nice to have. Next, now this is when Samsung started getting ridiculous. No headphones in the box. So after the S20, the S20 Ultra actually had headphones in the box. This didn't get headphones in the box. The S20 Ultra actually gave you a set of headphones. They gave you the I forgot what the name of those AKG headphones. But for some reason, this came out the same year, but it didn't get any headphones in the box. I don't understand that. Why are you taking away things from the consumer, but you charging us more money? And I don't understand why people out there don't seem to care. Like, I'll pay $2,000 for a device. You don't have to put nothing in the box. I don't care. I don't. It don't make no sense to me. No case in the box. Now, Samsung, I will say this, for their premium devices, the ones that I've had over the years, they've never put a case in the box. Now they do it with their mid-range, and they did do it with their mid-range and their budget devices. Now they're not doing that at all either. But premium device, they never put a case in the box. I never understood that either, because you're charging us premium prices, but we can't get one clear case. I don't understand that. And no faster charging on the wireless charging. Why are we still stuck on 15-watt wireless charging for the last 5-6 years? I don't understand that. Why hasn't that improved? And why don't people care? Like, I know everybody don't use wireless charging, but you gotta think about how much you're spending on these devices. Now, if you're trading in something and you're getting this for like $400 or $500, you may not even care at that point. But there are a lot of people that still use wireless charging, and I think it's a disgrace for them to charge over $1,000 and we still in 2023 stuck on 15-watt wireless charging. It's ridiculous. What's ultra about 15-watt wireless charging? What's ultra about 45-watt charging? There's nothing ultra about that. I have a Mi 11 Ultra that I can charge in 36 minutes from 0 to 100% with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And Samsung's with 45-watt charging still takes you a little over an hour. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I have a budget device that cost me $230 that charges faster than the Note 20 Ultra and faster than the S23 Ultra. It's the Redmi Note 11 Pro, 67-watt super fast charging, fully charged in 37 minutes. $230 device. And you mean to tell me a $1,200, $1,300 device gonna take over an hour? I don't get it. And I don't understand why people really don't say anything. A lot of reviews don't say anything about this stuff. Now, there's a few out there that do. I know Flossie Carter's one of them. I know Easy from Easy Computer Solutions. He says something about these things, but I wish more reviewers would say something about this. And I think more people should complain, sending emails, whatever you got to do. Samsung needs to get back to where they used to be, where they gave you so much. They gave you everything. That's what attracted me to Samsung in the first place, because I was an Apple guy, and I loved Apple, and I thought I got so much with Apple. But when it really comes down to it, Samsung all just gave you everything. They gave you a really a nice unboxing experience. They put everything they could in the phone. They gave you so many features. Now, a lot of the features were gimmicks, but still, it was like they were just trying to win customers, and they won me, and I was with them, and I was just happy. Note 9 was just it's just an awesome, great device. They just put so much into that device, and then slowly but surely they started stripping away stuff. You know, like this is the last Note device or last premium device, I would say, from Samsung that have SD card support. Why would you remove that? Why? Why, Samsung? That is such an important feature for so many people. I mean, you're giving these phones 8K recording capabilities, but no SD card support. I don't. I'm just confused. I'm confused. Now, maybe it's lack of competition, maybe because LG's gone, you know, maybe because OnePlus don't do that well over here. And I think the main reason why OnePlus don't do that well over here is because they just don't advertise. They don't advertise at all. So they're never going to do well in the States unless they start advertising their products. You know, Huawei's gone now because they got banned. And it's really unfortunate that Xiaomi and Vivo and all these other companies don't, you know, get what a carrier over here, because if they did, they would give Samsung major competition. And I think that's the only way they would step their game up. But right now, they really don't have no competition in this country. I'm talking about the United States. They don't really have any competition except Apple. You know, Google ain't really challenging them. Google's a good phone, but they're not really challenging Samsung and Apple. Those are the two major companies as far as cell phones in this country, smartphones. They're leading the way. But the only way this thing's going to change, y'all, is we got to speak up. We have to say something. We have to let Samsung know our displeasure or just not buy these newer devices. We can buy their older devices. I got a bunch of Samsung devices that got everything I need in them. You know, SD card support. That's why I'm not buying the S21 and the S22 and the S23. They done stripped it down too much. I'm not interested. The phone, for me, is just pretty boring. Okay, you get great battery life, great cameras, but okay, it's a faster processor, but so? That's it? I mean, it's your typical slab phone. There's nothing innovative about it. I'm quite happy with this. Great performance, great display, great cameras. Only thing hurts this phone the most is the battery. For me. Now, you may get great battery life with it. I don't get great battery. I get okay battery life. But this phone still has a lot of stuff that I like. Still, especially the SD card support. That's one of the main reasons why I'm not upgrading to nothing, because I need SD card support. I need that. Now, I hate that it doesn't have a headphone jack. I hate that. But, hey, I'm just dealing with it. Also, with this phone, I don't like that they move the S Pen to the left side instead of leaving it on the right. I don't like that either. So, to me, I feel like Samsung purposely sabotaged this phone, because this phone could have been so much better. And especially with them calling it an ultra device. I really believe they sabotaged this phone on purpose. Now, you may disagree. That's your prerogative. This is my opinion. And I believe Samsung purposely sabotaged this device, because this device could have been so much better. It could have been great. Because everything that the S20 Ultra had, this should have had, and they could have bumped it up even more. Especially with this being the last official Note device. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.